Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video I share memories of the fantastic train trip my husband and I had across Australia. It was on the iconic all-inclusive Indian Pacific train which runs weekly between Perth and Sydney. This was all part of our bigger trip of Australia, which included visiting some friends and family and a drive around Tasmania. Make sure that you subscribe and check out the videos of how that trip went down. So a bit of a backstory regarding this trip. We didn't have any clothes or luggage with us when we boarded the train. Qantas lost our luggage, and because of this, we had to go on this train trip with only the clothes on our back. It was different, but we managed. This is in no ways a promotional video of the train, but rather our memories and our experience of how it was. So I hope you enjoy. So early morning and without any luggage, we took a private transfer to Perth station. Transfers are included when you book the Platinum package.
Rapid testing for COVID before we catch the train.
After having passed our COVID test, we explored the outside of the train. It consists of 35 carriages, which include sleeping cars, the dining cars, lounge cars, as well as crew quarters. The average length is 878 meters. There's also a motor rail wagon which carry passenger motor vehicles to Adelaide. The Indian Pacific train we're going on, taking it from Perth to Sydney. Massive long train, very expensive as well. But yeah, so we'll get to see what this is like. A one-way trip takes between 65 and 70 hours and covers a distance of 4,352 kilometers, which includes the world's longest straight stretch of railway track. It offers two different levels of service, Platinum and Gold. We were booked in Platinum.
Hello. Hi guys. Quick little bit of champagne before we depart Perth on the way to Kalgoorlie.
After our first two glasses of Bollinger Bubblies, we decided to see what our suite looked like.
So this is a unit that we'll be spending 4 days in. Bit of a window on sort of both sides, which is quite nice. Not so blocked in here, then you don't get that feeling of like claustrophobia basically. And then yeah, it's got a...
For 4 days, it's nice.
Ooh, it's got its own nice shower. Some nice toiletries. That's quite nice.
Having our champagne in our cart. Really cool, really nice. Nice big cart.
Musician times. What the hell's musician times?
It's when the musicians play. We're on our move. Leaving Perth station. Nice big window here, must say. This is the Platinum dining carriage, where we had all of our meals. Here is a smaller lounge area if you wanted a bit more privacy to read a book or something. This is one of the Gold service dining cars, where Gold and Platinum service guests can enjoy breakfast, lunch and dinner. Some of the finishings look modern, while still invoking that golden era of rail travel. Next to the dining car, we found the Outback Explorer Lounge, the perfect place to relax and get acquainted with your fellow travelers. There's also a small gift shop on board. Of course, we opted to head back to the Platinum Club carriage to enjoy some more Bollinger champagne and to hang out and get to know our fellow travellers. And then lunch was served.
So, what's the verdict for the food?
We should swap potatoes, that's what we should do.
I ordered a second mains. Jan's a bit unhappy. Hey, don't bloody start stealing my bloody food.
The rest of the afternoon was quiet, and us, as well as most guests, just sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed the wonderful experience of train travel. We also saw some wild emu in a field.
Nice to finally get out. It's been a long time.
Looking for the movie title that represents. Don't try and unscramble the letters, whatever you do. Starkey. Richard Starkey.
Dinner was served after the quiz, and although tasty, my chicken could probably have been better. Turn down service turned our couch into a comfy double bed and added some lovely soft gowns. By the way, you get to keep these fantastic comfy gowns after your trip, so remember to pack them in.
Having our nightcap before we go on our evening excursion in Kalgoorlie. Super pit.
Remember that I talked about Qantas losing our luggage? Well, obviously we had to tell the other passengers of our misfortune in case they were wondering why we were walking around with the same clothes for the last 4 days.
So with our little luggage problem, there was these kind people on this train who gave Ralph 2 shirts to wear.
Yeah, 2 brand new shirts.
So 2 brand new shirts that they happen to have with them, and now Ralph gets to have some new clothes. So we've stopped in Kalgoorlie. It's a night excursion that we're going on now, and we are going to go see a mine, I think.
Our first off-train excursion was a stop in Kalgoorlie to view the massive super pit. It is an included excursion and well worth a view, but unfortunately not so much late at night.
Welcome folks to the soup pit. Unfortunately it is dark, so it's a little bit hard to see, so hopefully I get a bit of information as to what happens here. In mining gold. It's called the gold ball. That's the amount of gold you get out of that truck. This hole is going 5 kilometres long, 2.5 kilometres wide, and
After the super pit, there was a short 2-man play about the first miners in the area.
We never used to have anything like this back in my day. Didn't we used to have like paraffin way model lamps?
Hills on 100 tents on this hill. It might have to be put next to yours.
Hey, you want to move that soon enough, we'll want to dig there.
You can dig around me, you gold loving fool.
You know, Clara, if it weren't for the gold, I wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be here, these lovely people wouldn't be here, you'd know it. And besides, I made a bit of a name for myself around here.
We then got to explore some of the big machinery and equipment they use for mining inside the super pit. These machines were massive. Next morning we pulled into Rolina and disembarked the train to enjoy some hot drinks in this isolated, very flat area.
This is the Australian outback. In this little town there's only 3 people living here.
Yep, only 3 people. They're there to maintain the railway track. The snacks were delicious and we made sure to have plenty of it, thinking that that was going to be breakfast. I loved exploring some of the abandoned buildings which still stand there today before climbing back on the train.
Here's one of the 3 people still left living in this town, doing the day's job.
But it's kind of nice just going back home. During breakfast, we saw some of the wild camels roaming the outback. Our next stop was the almost deserted town of Cook. In its heyday, this place played an important part of Australia's development. Now it's almost like a ghost town with only a handful of people staying there. We decided to walk to the front of the train as we haven't seen the locomotive yet.
These flies are pesky. You can see everybody is just like waving flies away. It's kind of funny, but they're very irritating, or else waving flies away.
Even though that's not the worst it can get in Australia, those flies were still very irritating. If you ever find yourself in Cook or anywhere else that has flies like this, try to have a hat like this on hand. For the remainder of our short stop, we walked along some of the buildings, saw the old historical jail cell, and even tried to get a hold of Qantas regarding our lost baggage. Can you believe that the phone actually worked and I was on hold until we had to leave? dinner was superb as I tried camel meat for the first time. It was delicious.
Quick breakfast before we head off in Adelaide. Have a nice sunrise, as you can see.
There's a few options to pick from for your included excursion in Adelaide. We chose a city and river walking tour.
Lady here was a Dame Roma Mitchell, the first lady governor of any state in Australia.
Our tour guide was very knowledgeable and knew his history, but the tour didn't impress me much. Although we saw some historic statues and the war memorial, we basically just walked around one block and didn't really get to see the city. Also, the tour was quick, so no time to shop for some much needed new clothes. It did, however, include a continental breakfast inside the Adelaide Oval with a quick opportunity to see the famous field. Dinner with our new friends Graham and Lisa. After dinner we stopped in Broken Hill for another excursion. This time we hopped on a bus and headed off to watch the main drag.
Got drinks, so drink up, because the more you drink, the prettier we look. I think it's quite alright. I love you, baby. To all my lonely nights. You can dance, you can dance, having the time of your life.
It was such a fun evening, which I'm sure most people enjoyed. I know I had a great time. I bet you didn't notice my new shirt in the previous clip. Before boarding the train in Adelaide, we managed to stop by the souvenir shop and go buy ourselves some much needed new shirts, as we didn't know when we'll be receiving our luggage from Qantas. So both of us ended up with nice Indian Pacific memorabilia jerseys and shirts to wear. Our last day on board the train started as usual with a scrumptious breakfast. Shortly thereafter, we hopped on a bus to the spectacular Blue Mountains. With its glorious rugged cliffs and lush green forests, it's no wonder it's listed as a World Heritage Site. The first stop was Scenic World, which offers 4 phenomenal mountain experiences. We headed straight to the Scenic Railway, the steepest passenger railway in the world. Our cameras don't do it justice. Disembarking, we got lovely views of the Jameson Valley and the Three Sisters rock formation. And then a quick informative walk through the forest.
So, the main entrance to Katoomba coal mine, as I said, you might have forgotten or not heard, over 100 kilometres of tunnels. And we've mapped as much as we can using Sonic from the top of the cliff down. And you can see the map just in front of us there. You're standing right at the bottom of that map, and that's what's in front of you. And the miners will be working 6 days a week. They'll be doing 12-hour What you're looking at here is one of the oldest still living plant species on Earth. It was here before flowering plants. It was here before the Grand Canyon existed. You are walking and living, if you live here, on the oldest continent on Earth. There is nowhere older than Australia. It could settle and created that claystone in the middle. So that's Mount York claystone or Queen Victoria clay.
Our next experience was the cableway, which glides a length of over 500 meters over the forest and valley floor.
The Skyway, we're going to sail straight across the top of those falls very shortly. Now over to the valley side, the famous and iconic Three Sisters, Menai, Woomera and Gunnyman. And back to the middle, that large mountain out in the middle, that's Mount Solitary. So the GSR people, that's where that ropeway I was showing you with the buckets, and we're all the way out to that big mountain.
Reaching the top, we climbed into the Skyway. It's a gondola which gives you 360-degree views of the forest, the valley and the impressive Katoomba Falls. There is also a glass cabin floor which allows you to look 270 meters down into the ancient ravines. After that, we enjoyed a light lunch at Echo Point Lookout. finally, we ended our 4-day train journey by climbing not back onto the Indian Pacific, but rather a chartered commuter train which took us straight to Sydney Station. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching our train trip as much as we did experiencing it. It is definitely a world-class product and worth experiencing if you have the time and money. Thanks for watching and hope to see you on our next adventure. Cheers.